Hey guys, THUNDERSTUD here, and today we were trying to do some turbo duels, so that means we need a 5Ds character. I decided to do more of Primo. Now I'm trying to use this skill, Know One to Love. What Know One to Love does, the turn after one of your monsters is destroyed by a card effect, you get to add a Wisel in your hand. Now what's good about Wisel? He's 2500, you get to negate a spell, and you can suck up a synchro monster and gain its attack. The only downside is he's the only monster that can attack. He's a dark machine. We're using him in combo with Desperado Barrel Dragon, but we're using a bunch of the Wisel cards. We're using attack, guard, top, and attack 3. What these monsters do, you normal summon them as the only monster on the field, they're gonna destroy themselves. That can special summon your Wisel, that could special summon your Barrel Dragon. Next turn, you're gonna have your skill, Know One to Love. That's gonna bring out your Wisel to your hand. It's gonna let you really pick when you want to suck up the synchro, so it works out really, really well. And of course, we have just the regular Desperado in the back to finish him off. A comeback mechanic in the Dark Creator. All you need is 5 or more dark monsters, which you get a lot. You get a lot of dark monsters in your graveyard with all these boys just destroying themselves. And then he can special summon the dark monster. Preferably Desperado is what it's usually going to be. And he's 3k defense, so really nice little comeback. Then we have 2 Pulse Mines. Really just makes a face-up Wisel with a Pulse Mine absolutely crazy. And then Jelly Cannon, because it really makes for some unique situations on how you can use it that people aren't really used to yet. Now, this deck does have some potential depth in its XCs, but really the only XCs you're going to be using is Princess Sprite, because all these monsters are 1, even Wisel, so you actually have a good opportunity to use Princess Sprite and maybe dig to one of your trap cards. So I was using it in Turbo Duels. Turbo Duels, I usually won't even use the turbo skills. I think one of these I do use the turbo skills to turn the duel around. We'll see in the replays, of course. But other than that, it's just regular duels with my opponent usually having an advantage. So it's still a really fun deck to just run out with straight Wisels, mostly Wisels. So hope you guys enjoy. Hope you're doing well in the Turbo Duel Tournament, Grand Prix Tournament, whatever they call it. And thanks for watching, guys. Alright, here's the Antinomy. Speaking Japanese here at the Grand Prix. We have a Desperado and some boys bring Desperado out. We have Pulse Mines, some boys using Miscellaneous Source to special summon that boost Raptor. Then he's gonna go charge the Light Brigade, search a Raiden. He milled 2 other boost Raptors too, so he knew what he was doing, getting the Raptor out first. Destroys his Raptor in the end phase, searches the Screw Serpent, mills his deck a little more. We get another just little monster out there to destroy himself. That's our Desperado Barrel Dragon. Instead of Pulse Mine, use his effect to destroy that Raiden. Now he sets another back row. He's going that Screw Serpent. Brings out the Raptor. Goes with the Star Guardian. That's going to let him add the Raptor back to his hand. Raptor's back on the field. That's level 6. Our boy's going with Baronic Dragon. We're going to hit him with the Pulse Mines. He's going to Forbidden Lance his Baronic Dragon, so he's not affected by the Pulse Mines. Then he's going to draw 1. Use that 1 to Brio our Desperado Barrel Dragon away. All we need is a Wisel. We top deck it. We may have... I don't know if we were able to search it with this skill. I don't think so. Now here, we actually might have, because we destroyed our... Yeah, so I think we could have just searched the Wisel even if we didn't top deck him. So we had a good suck of this synchro, no problem, but he wasn't going to see it. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing an Antinomy, pretty much the crowd favorite for this event, I would say. Now we have a Wisel with his attack 3. Attack 3 pops. Wisel summons. We get a cutscene, all that great stuff. We get to negate a spell card. If we come across a synchro player and we survive the turn, we can suck up any synchro. And we could survive a turn, seeing as we have Pulse Mines and our Jelly Cannon. We go in defense because we're 2500, 2500. Our boy sets a card, does nothing further. We're going to destroy with Wisel. He's a row mages. So, in destroying Laurel, we're going to fight a Majorum. Just going to banish our poor little attack 3. Now he's going to use +1. Goes with Aroma Gardening. We're going to negate Aroma Gardening. Now he's going to normal summon Jasmine. Use an Angelica to gain life. That's going to give him a +1 from Jasmine. Majorum would banish, but there's nothing to banish. Now he plays Kanaga, which lets him suicide his Majorum into my Wisel. Bringing out another Majorum, returning my Pulse Mines. Hitting us for a bunch of damage, but not quite lethal. And being at 500 life points is going to be real useful, because we could have stopped one of them. We obviously have a Jelly Cannon, it was obviously life through all those attacks. But being at 500 life points against an Aroma Mage player is actually an advantage, because now Aroma Gardening is virtually never going to be useful for him. We normal summon our boy, we get to use our Wisel. He's only 2k, but that's enough to swing over the Kanaga. Now we're 25k, or 2.5k. Now he gets another +1. Flips Jasmine to defense, passes his turn. We get a Desperado. He's showing us Dried Winds. That's nice, but it doesn't do anything for him. It may have stopped the damage on that Majorum, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's going Force, draws another card. So this guy's getting a lot of free +1s over me. And I'm not using any of the effects. Here he goes Angelica. He goes Armory Arm. I don't even know what that is. It just equips to his Bergamot to do some stuff, but it does not protect him from the Jelly Cannon. So what did it really do for him? Now we only bring out the Wisel because, you know, this boy won't get destroyed if we normal summon him. Desperado wouldn't be able to attack if we even somehow got him on the field, so it's just really not worth it. Here he's bringing out a Rosemary, bringing out the Jasmine, setting a back row. Still a rough duel for him. Now we're hitting him for 2400 over the Jasmine. Like I said, we're at 500 life points, so we don't have to worry about where his life points are at or any of that stuff. Here he's going with Malevolent Sin, so I'm like, this turn's looking bad. We're gonna bail out with Pulse Mines. Malevolent Sin banishes us anyway. That allows him to use his Aroma Gardening without it being negated, so he's pretty happy about that turn. Now we're gonna normal summon our boy this time. Swing over, he's only at 1400. Now he's gonna get another +1. He's gotten at least 3 or 4. We're going to negate the Aroma Gardening. No field spell. Wisel negates. Now that's why we normal summoned our boy. We get to normal summon again. That's going to be a Princess Sprite in defense. She's got a little tiny defense, but it works out well. All we do is mill more monsters. Eventually we'd get to a Dark Creator if things ever got that bad, but we win the duel before it gets there. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are fighting Dark Colin. We're a little edgier even than Dark Colin here as Primo. So we have a Wisel, we have a Desperado, we got a Jelly Cannon as some protection. Our opponent passes his turn. We're gonna normal summon one of our little boys, and that's gonna be a Wisel. It's good to start with Wisel. He's a little more defensive, he's a little more negaty. You get him out there, and even if he's destroyed, you get to special summon the Desperado anyway, so we don't need to hurry into the Desperado, we can go to Wisel. Hit him for 2500, call it a turn, we still got Jelly Cannon. He's going to play Elemental Hero Blazeman. Now this guy thought he was really hot stuff here. He uses this poly, I negate the poly, and he starts taunting me with the lines, the character lines. So he thought he'd baited out my negate. He's like, oh, I got you with this poly. Now I'm going to hit you with my Lightning Vortex. But guess what? Desperado Barrel Dragon was just waiting for an instance of destruction, and he has to pass his turn. So now we get a Pulse Mines, but we don't need it, as we swing over for lethal over someone who thought they had the duel in the bag. Great stuff there. Alright, here we are fighting an Antinomy. Pretty much that's what everyone's using. It's got 29 cards over there. So we have a Desperado, no Wisel, but we'll be able to search in the next turn. Our opponent's using Harpies. Going with the Slash Harpy Lady. Sets to back row. Now we can't search our Wisel this turn, obviously. We're gonna set our Pulse Mines. Normal summon top. That's gonna let us special summon Desperado, and he lets us swing right over the Slash Harpy Lady. Now he's gonna pass this turn once again. We're going to set our guard, hit him for 2800. He's down to 1000 life points. Now he's going to use Trickster to draw 2 extra cards. He's got 4 cards in his hand. He's going to use a Channeler and an Elegant Egotist. And a Swallow's Nest. That's to be a Perfumer. Search of another Elegant Egotist. I'm pretty sure you can still use it too. So he's going with Slash Harpy Lady once again. He's going to Karma Cut my Desperado, so we're going to use Pulse Mines. Then he's going to return my guard. That's perfectly fine. Then he ends his turn. So we know that's an Elegant Egotist. Now I'm going to use my +1 because we didn't get a Desperado in my hand. So I do the draw 2, discard 1 right after he got his +1. Not too guilty about it, but still did need a little bit of help from our Turbo Duels to turn this around. He's going to return our Desperado once again, but we still got that Jelly Cannon waiting. So he's going to normal summon his Chandler. So he got a lot of way more bigger, much bigger card advantage from this Turbo Duel than we did from that one. He's going to Harpy Lady himself back, but that's what Jelly Cannon was going to do anyway. Hits us for 1400. But we have the means to make our Desperado hop on out, but we're going to hop out a Wisel first. This way we negate any spells. We're 2500 over this little Channeler. Doesn't really matter. And any future Synchro we can still suck him up, but he's going to just Karma Cut us anyway. We're going to Speed Acceleration to normal summon our boy. He gets destroyed, bringing out the Desperado, and we hit him for 1400. Beating him at his own Turbo Duel. Great stuff here. Alright, here we are facing a Yusei in a Turbo Duel. I'm using a Montage Dragon here, but I don't actually use the Dragon, and I replace him for more Wisel. I was running fewer Wisel because I figured we get to search Wisel when we want him. So I played Montage Dragons instead, but it's mostly level 1 monsters. Doesn't make for a good Montage Dragon, and it's just better having more copies of Wisel. Even this duel probably would have gone better with more Wisel copies. But anyway, he's going Necro Valley. We're going to negate the Necro Valley with our Wisel. Sets back row and passes the turn. I thought he might be dragging us out to bluff it, but he just genuinely didn't know our Wisel was going to be able to do that. So here we get a second Wisel from the search. We bring out attack. Doesn't really do anything for him but protect us and add another opportunity for a Wisel and a Desperado. So that's why we return the Montage Dragon for the Wisel with the skill. We just want more Wisels as it is. So now we get our carrier. Wisel was going to hop on out. Opponent didn't want any, he scoops. And that's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, it's just a bunch of little monsters. Attack 3 gives your Wisel Pierce, which is useful because usually you're just stuck with one Wisel swinging. But he's just the beginning. Your opponent has to figure out what they're going to do to possibly get around with Wisel. And then you hit them with the Desperados and the Dark Creators. And they don't know what to do with themselves. So it's a fun deck. It's just something to slap on Primo and run through the Turbo Duels to get those events done really quick. So I hope you guys are handling your events just as well. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.